Hi everybody, Dan Illman and Mike Beer, the DRFBets race of the day for Friday, November the 1st, the third race at Charlestown. It's a 5,000, no, it's the Breeders Cup Juvenile, of course, race number 9 at Santa Anita. The favorite for the Kentucky Derby might very well be crowned in the Juvenile. It's a grade 1, $2 million is the purse. You can bet it with a DRFBets account. Heck, bet the whole Breeders Cup while you're at it. Deposit $150, bet with $300. Bet the Breeders Cup, drf.com/bet. Let's meet the field for the Breeders Cup Juvenile. You can download free formulator past performances for the Breeders Cup Juvenile on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Download them, handicap along with us. There is a big scratch to announce in here. The Grade 1 Breeders' Futurity winner, Maxfield, withdrawn on Tuesday morning. It will leave us with a field of 8. Let's see what Timeform US has in store with its pace projector. And they believe that 8 Rings, gate to wire winner last time out in the American Pharoah, is going to make the top yet again, Mike.
It's hard to argue with that. He's a very fast horse. And, when he won that American Pharoah last time, he did go fast early to get there. He's got plenty of speed.
He's the horse to catch. The horse to beat's the number 1, Dennis's Moment, who just jumped onto the national radar with his maiden win at Ellis Park. He won by almost 20 lengths with a 97 Buyer's speed figure. Now, he had to back that up last time out in the Iroquois. First time 2 turns, first time against better horses. He was bet down to 2-5 like he couldn't lose, and he was never in danger of losing. I liked how he raided off the pace comfortably, brushed to the top turning into the stretch, was very professional. He draws an inside post here. I think he's going to work out a similar trip as last time.
Yeah, I liked everything about the way he stretched out last time, like you did. He just sort of took that 3-wide tracking trip, took it over when he was ready in the stretch, and he was in hand again late. He was a very impressive winner of that race. And you're right, it's not like he's a slow horse. So, will 8 Rings, who seems like his main competition now, just blast off to the front? He probably will, but Dennis's Moment shouldn't be that far away.
And Dennis's Moment has been working like a rocket ship leading up to this race. Just consider 5/8 and 58 and change a couple of times at Churchill, eye-opening half mile and 46 and change in his first work over this racetrack. Remember that you're going to visit timeformus.com for the updated pace projector. Once the scratch of the number 9 Maxfield is made official, this pace projector might change just very slightly. Wrecking Crew is the number 2, and Wrecking Crew is going to stretch out for the first time in his career. This is a son of Sky Kingdom who sold for $875,000. I thought if he was going to win a big one, it was going to be last time in the Del Mar Futurity, because that was the race where 8 Rings and Storm the Court both dropped the jocks at the start. And you could argue that those were 2 of the horses to beat in that race. Wrecking Crew, it was a fast pace. It was a contested pace. He's going to run third. He's grind to second. He's grinding it out into second right now. It was an okay effort. It doesn't give me a lot of confidence in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, but he's an honest horse.
Yeah, he is. He just didn't run that well in the Del Mar Futurity last time. And if he shows up with an effort like that, he's going to get absolutely buried in this race. We'll see what happens. He's supposed to be able to stretch out, Dan, but I can't take him off his last race.
Could you argue that the 3 Shoplifted's a little bit dirtied up? I mean, he was a pretty visually impressive debut winner in fast time at Saratoga. Wasn't embarrassed in the hopeful, but he had to run over a sloppy track that day and may not have cared for it. And last time out in the American Pharoah, I just think he got too far behind. That track just seemed to be favoring speed horses. They basically ran 1-2 all the way around the track. Shoplifting, though, to me, flattened out late, sort of like a horse that may not want to go this far. He kind of poked his head into third at the 3/16 pole and then got tired.
Yeah, that's how I looked at it, too. I wanted to see him finish a little better in that race. The way that it was run, he wasn't going to win, getting as far back as he did, and then having to come around really wide to the stretch. But I just wanted to see him put in a little bit more of a run. I wonder if he's a horse. I think he has talent, Dan. I just wonder if he's a horse who wants to go this far right now.
The 4 is Storm the Court. And I think you can make that same case with Storm the Court, who's getting blinkers for the first time, for the excellent trainer Peter Artin. This is a horse that had moved into third at about the 5/16 pole behind 8 Rings and American Theorem. And while he was pretty game to battle back for third, those 2 horses ran away from him in the stretch. Now, maybe you could say the track profile was against him. I just wanted to see a stronger finish.
Yeah, he wasn't ever a threat in that race. He did well to prevail for third, but he never looked like he was going to threaten the 1-2 finishers in there. And another race like that, he's another horse in here. He has to find a way to take a really big step forward.
The number 5 Scabbard was no match for Dennis's Moment last time out, but I think there was a key point on the backstretch where this horse lost momentum. Corey Lannery was saving ground down towards the inside. At the half-mile pole, he just ran up onto heels, and that kind of gave Dennis's Moment maybe an insurmountable advantage on this horse. This horse was running at the end and reaching out for ground. I liked the way he finished. If there is some pace in this race, I think Scabbard can improve switching to Mike Smith at a price at 8-1. He's not that far behind Dennis's Moment.
I agree. He's a pretty dangerous horse in this race, and he should be a fair price considering the 2 favorites in here. I really liked his debut. His Saratoga Special, he was a good second. He spent a lot of time on a dead rail in that race before he got up for second. And I agree with everything you said about his Iroquois. He ran a lot better than maybe it even looks in there, and he did improve with the distance.
In the 2 races that the 6-8 Rings has finished, he has won by open lengths, including this score in the American Pharaoh. It was his first time around 2 turns. He went to the lead under Johnny Velasquez, and he went a pretty legitimate pace up front. He stretched them out, and he had them off the bridle at about the 5/16 pole. Now, you're going to see him get a little bit tired here at about the 16th pole. He's going to pop back to his left lead. He's going to drift down towards the inside, but he had every right to be tired in his first time around 2 turns going this kind of a pace, and he could be loose again.
Yeah, that's how I looked at it too. I think he ran well last time, just because he had to go fast early to get to the lead. So getting tired at the end and jumping to his wrong lead, well, that's not what you love to see. I thought he had an excuse to do it. He did win the race very easily. He clearly has talent. He's going to be on the lead in this race. It's Baffert with the home court advantage. He's not going to be easy to beat in this race, I don't think.
The 7 Anneau d'Or is a son of Medaglia d'Oro, sold for $480,000. His first preference was one of the turf races on the undercard. He did not draw in. He looked good winning at Golden Gate in his debut because he must have been 4 wide around both turns. He was very hard ridden on the far turn, but once he switched into the straight, he just dominated those overmatched horses. I'm just not sure there's enough dirt in this pedigree for me to consider him against this tough field. This looks like a really good crop of 2-year-old colts.
Yeah, he's got the right sire on top for sure, but it's a lot of turf on the bottom. And I'm sure that they wanted to run him in one of the grass races. It didn't happen. I did like his debut quite a bit. I thought he ran well in that race. I just thought he was tough to make in here.
And then number 8, Full Flat. This is a horse who was first preference was in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. He has only sprinted on turf in his 3 races in Japan. His lone win came at a gigantic price. And you look at the bottom of this pedigree, it's just all turf. I think Fire the Groom is in there, the second dam, multiple grade 1 winner on the turf. Distance shouldn't be a problem, and the Speightstowns can do anything, but boy, this is a tall order.
Yeah, you don't know if this is his surface or his distance right now, and how good is he anyway. It just feels like it's all going to conspire to make him a really big price in here.
I know you liked Maxfield in this race. We're going to take a look at our top selections. 8 Rings, the horse to catch. Dennis's Moment, the horse to beat. You kind of scratched into Dennis's Moment here. I want to give Scabbard a slight upset chance at a better price than Dennis's Moment. It's not like I want to have too much money or way against Dennis's Moment, but I like Scabbard at 8-1 on the morning line. I'm curious to see if this pace gets a little bit fast. We have the same 4 numbers. I went 5-1-6-4.
Yeah, I wasn't against Dennis's Moment even when I was planning on betting Maxfield in this race. And once he came out, it just sort of made my decision a lot easier. This horse has looked really good to me, so I'm not going to try and beat him. I think Baffert's horse will give a good account of himself, but I like Dennis's Moment.
We will crown the early favorite for the 2020 Kentucky Derby in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Grade 1, $2 million is the purse. Get involved with a DRFBets account. Deposit $150. Bet with $300 with DRFBets. Learn more at drf.com/bet. An approximate post time for your Friday DRFBets race of the day, 4:03 Pacific. Good luck.